Well, it was good to get back to practice today. I think the players were excited about it. We've had a, good first day. Energy and enthusiasm was good. Obviously, if we were where we needed to be, we wouldn't need to have a whole bunch of more practices before the first game. So I think every player's got to self-assess a little bit in terms of the things that they need to work on to improve, and also be ready to take constructive criticism from the coaches so that they have a chance to use that input and teaching to, help them improve. So we're certainly looking forward to the challenges of the season. There are many, many out there, including the first game, and I think that what's really important is our players have to believe that we determine the outcome of the game by what we do, how we practice, how we prepare, how we get ready to play the game, and how we can go execute in the game. And the thing that you have to do to be able to do that is develop the right habits when it comes to work ethic, perseverance, discipline, to make the right choices and decisions, mental and physical toughness to be able to sustain. And these things are all important because I think this team, like every team, has to reestablish the identity of who this team is going to be. And I don't think that that's anybody's call to make. Including any preseason poll, which basically means little to nothing about anything. It's all about how you play when the game comes against the competition that you have to play against. So we're not going to be in the mood to be making comparisons or making comments on rankings. It's flattering that, people think highly of our team, but our team needs to understand that they have to prove who they are by what they do. And this means, very, very little. On the Deshaun Hand situation, first of all, we have every respect for the police and what they did, so in no way are my comments directed at anything but total respect for those people doing their job. Deshaun put himself in a bad situation, obviously made a mistake being where he was at the time, but the fact that he didn't drive the car, which is, what we tell the players not to do. It's not okay that he was drinking with me. And that's a behavioral issue that needs to be addressed, and we will address it. But the fact that he didn't drive the car and wasn't driving the car, he did not put other people at risk, which to me is the most significant thing when you drive under the influence. But he didn't drive. But they had every right to do what they did. So what we basically did is I have two choices. I can punish the guy for putting himself in a bad situation, but making a pretty good decision after he put himself in that situation, or we can take the situation that he put himself in, which was drinking, and have him assessed for that and try to help him so that he can make better choices and decisions in the future. All right, so rather than worry about the punishment part of it, we put him in 48-hour inpatient for assessment purposes. Professional people assess what he needs to do, what we need to do with him, and that's what we will do with him. Because he put himself in that situation, we'll give him community service and police ride around and some different things to help him. And if he does everything he's supposed to do, he will not be suspended. Because I think what we're doing is helping the player. And I think the fact that if he'd have drove the car, it'd be a totally different circumstance. And even if he didn't get arrested, and he put himself in that situation at 4:30 in the morning being in that condition, we would have sent him to do the same thing for his future safety and his future decision making. All right, so that the arrest part of it has nothing to do with that. We're treating these things as two different things, and that's all really I have, to say, about that. So it's important, I think, for especially young players to really be focused here in the next, few days. These first 5 days, acclimation days, are heavy install days. Very critical to young players being able to learn once more some of the details that they need to learn to be able to go out there and execute and make a contribution to the team. So hopefully we can get that accomplished with a lot of our players in the next 5 days.
Coach, we saw Minka at both safety and cornerback. Is there a place that you want to see him play? Is there, I guess, a goal?
No, there's not really a goal. I think the goal is to get the best 4 guys, best 5 guys on the field in the best positions that will give us the best opportunity to have a chance to be successful in the back end. So Minka can play either place extremely well. So based on how the other players develop, will probably determine to a large degree where he ends up playing.
Come back over here with Mark. Yeah, when you have situations like Deshaun's, do you gather the team together again and give them another speech about, hey, this is why you shouldn't put yourself in these positions, or deliver another message to them?
Always. Every opportunity that we have, whether it's somebody on our team or somebody somewhere else, we use every one of these as opportunities to teach and opportunities for the other people to learn all the time. I mean, we do it with former players doing good things. We do it with players doing good things. We do it with other people doing not so good things and making poor choices and decisions. We're always trying to make the players aware of the consequences of good and bad behavior. Deshaun Hand's going to have to suffer the consequences of this. I always say, and but, really 2 critical words at the end of any draft report. All right, maybe the 2 most critical words in the whole deal. All right, so there are going to be a lot of buts that he has to live with because of this. All right, so he's going to get plenty of punishment. We're just going to try to help him so he has a better chance to make better choices and decisions in the future.
Just wonder what your thoughts were on the defensive line and depth you have there coming back.
Well, I think there's obviously some talented players there that haven't played a lot. Those guys are going to have to develop consistency and performance. I don't think one of the goals coming out of spring practice is we need to make some improvement in consistency up front. I think the players have the capabilities of doing it. We had a lot of new faces there. This camp is going to be real critical for how those guys develop and the consistency that they can play with.
Just wanted to ask you about the right side of the offensive line. Obviously, you said coming out of spring there are 4 guys. What do you need to see from the guys you have for that 5th spot that you want to see them do?
Well, we're evaluating that guys every day. All right, we're evaluating those 4 guys to make sure that they continue to improve and play well. And we're also going to evaluate some of the younger players who came in, as well as some of the guys that were there in the spring. And, same thing as we're going to do in the secondary. What gives us the best opportunity to get the best 5 guys on the field so we have the best opportunity to be successful up front? And, that's way early to be determined. And we're going to be evaluating those guys every day. And it's a work in progress, and it's way too early to really tell. I mean, especially these practices where you don't have pads on, not the easiest way to evaluate defensive and offensive linemen.
Come back over here with Chris Walsh.
Just from the end of last year to now, what's been the biggest improvement with Jaylin, and what do you kind of want to see from him in camp?
Well, the goal was stated many times before that we wanted to improve his ability to be a more efficient, effective, confident passer. I think he's made tremendous strides in the spring. We're not allowed to watch a lot of what they do over the summer, but based on his confidence, the poise that he plays with out there in practice today, I think there has been a lot of improvement in his knowledge and understanding and confidence, and his leadership, his presence, all those things I think have a real positive impact on the offensive team and the offensive players, and I think he's really improved as a passer.
We're going to finish up right here with Dwayne.
Coach, you opened up talking about discipline and guys being able to understand and take criticism well. Is that stressed even more this year because you got a lot of young guys that you might be counting on?
Well, no, look, we always stress that. I mean, I think if you're going to improve, you have to be able to self-assess. If you're going to improve, you have to be able to take You can call it criticism, you can call it constructive criticism, you could call it teaching. You know, if I tell a player something, I'm trying to teach the guy. I'm not really trying to criticize him. I'm not trying to tear him down for what he did. I'm trying to help him so that he can do it better the next time. And we try to explain to every player that that's what we're trying to do. Now, there's things that you can't tolerate, like lack of effort. That's a choice. Not playing with toughness. That's a choice. Not knowing what to do because you're not well prepared or you're not focused. I think some of those things you come down a little harder on. But when it comes to teaching players technique, teaching them how to do what you want them to do, that's not a critical deal. You know, that's a teaching. Whether it's how you use your feet and hands, how you run a route, how you get your second step on the ground to make a block, how you set your feet in the pocket to throw a ball. I mean, all these things are, you know, things that you're trying to teach to improve guys so that they have a better chance to be successful. And I think the players know that the coaches are here to try to help them do that. And I think that's why they came here. I don't ever get any negative feedback from players in terms of how they're coached.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.